Welcome to Lucky and Ducky Podcast.
A genie granted me one wish. I wish to be happy. Now I live with 6 dwarves and work in a mine.
If you don't get the reference, it's the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. All right, in today's podcast, we are talking about practice skills you think you didn't need to know. Um, yeah, you start with our list. What was number one?
Well, I'm going to point out that we're talking about why you should learn the skills, not what skills to learn.
Yeah.
We'll probably do that later episode.
Yeah.
Just because that was why we come up with our notes for this time, because we were doing everything for that episode.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
So for one skill that we talked about was basic car maintenance. And why you should learn basic car maintenance. In my opinion,
The main part on
what are you saying?
the main reason for that it would be to save money. Why
Yeah.
you should learn it.
Yeah, I mean, some things in that learning how to check your tire pressure, top off your oil, put coolant, that kind of stuff in your car. I mean, just basic things that you shouldn't need to take your car to the shop for. And by having to take it to the shop, you're spending all that money that is unnecessary. You don't need to be spending. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree. I also think that there's some home maintenance that goes and could be considered about the same,
Yeah.
because like a lot of people will call a plumber if the toilet ain't working, when you can check that little flapper valve inside the tank on the back of the toilet.
Yeah.
That flapper valve, I'm pretty sure costs $3 right now. It might be more, but it costs about $3 instead of $300 to call out a plumber to look at it.
Yeah.
And if you just know how that operates, it's very simple to fix. So you can save a lot of money. That's one reason. Another would be like just in case. Like that's why you should practice skills you don't need. Um, for example, how to change a car tire. You're like, oh, I haven't got a flat tire yet. Does that mean you won't? No. I mean, if you had a important meeting tomorrow, you would set probably an extra alarm, right? In case you just hit snooze on the first.
Yeah.
You don't set the alarm after the meeting because it's too late. So it's like you study before a test. You don't study after the test but if you don't know when the test is, you just need to study now, right?
Yeah.
You agree so far?
Yeah. Yeah. I
You picking
mean,
up what I'm putting down?
it's better to be prepared before you need to be prepared for what you need to be prepared for. I mean, they
That was
sing
such a
about it.
logic loop.
Yeah, man. They sing
That's
about
such
it
a
in Lion King. Be prepared. I haven't seen that movie in a
and this
while.
is why we won't do a karaoke episode. Oh,
Definitely, definitely not. Um, all right. What's another reason? I mean,
yeah,
cost is definitely a good reason. Um,
same way that you would save money before you buy something.
yeah,
That way you don't go, oh, I need to buy groceries this week, but you bought what's something extravagant, a new TV. You bought a new TV and now you don't have enough money for groceries because you didn't set aside and plan for it. So that's a big thing about what it's is like you're planning to be prepared so that when something comes up that you're not prepared for, you're already ahead of somebody else or ahead of where you could have been, not necessarily ahead of someone else.
Got a little bit of a
Not
buffer.
about being better.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excuse me. Another thing about the home maintenance is being able to and car maintenance, being able to do your own work. It's just more convenient sometimes instead of having to not only pay someone to come out, but just having to wait for someone to come out and fix whatever it is that's broken. If you know a little bit about what it is, you don't need to pay anybody and you don't need to wait for people. You can get it done as soon as you can get it done. You don't have to wait the
Now,
whole
of course,
day.
now if you need to like rewire something in your breaker panel
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and you don't know anything, do not electrocute yourself. Call out an electrician.
Well, I mean,
Like,
my truck,
and
it's in the shop
your
right now. There are things where I don't have the equipment and the knowledge on how to do. And so I get someone who does to do that. Um, so I'm not saying you don't ever need to take your car to the shop. You don't ever, but I'm saying for for your basics, for your little things, changing them.
like you need to be able to check that the oil is. You may not know why it's low,
Yeah.
but if the oil's not, you saw a puddle on the ground, and you're like, "Oh, is it oil? What is it?" If you're able to check the fluids in your car, whether it's windshield washer fluid, antifreeze, oil, like if you can check those and you know that they're all not low, then you'd be like, okay, then what could it be? But if your oil's low, you add a little more, you check it the next day, and if it's low again, then you can take it to somebody. But you know how to check it. You don't have to be like, there's this puddle under my car, and maybe it was just water condensation. That happens a lot. Like there's just condensation from the heat of the engine, condensates the water in the air, and it'll drip down.
Yeah.
So, like, it's not even a problem when it does that.
Yeah.
But if you're just like, there was a puddle under my car, and then you take it to a mechanic, they charge you money for nothing. Like, why? The other thing is, you can find that you enjoy it. There's a lot of people who don't know. I mean, I've told you about this. Like, I'll teach people how to use a drill and impact driver, or even like how to make a basic electrical circuit as I'm working and doing stuff. And I'm showing them how, whenever I'm teaching somebody else how to do it, a lot of the time they'll be scared of it or don't want to try it. After they try it, they're like, yeah, I don't want to do that for a living, but that's cool. Actually, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, especially like guys like to do handyman and fixing stuff. But whenever some of our girl students, whenever they try something, they're even more surprised. Especially at one of the counties we were working in, we were showing them how to use the drill and impact driver, how to properly drill a screw and use nail guns, little brad nailers, and talking about how the mechanics of it work, how to do it properly. And then we had a competition where the students would race and see who could put two screws all the way in, all the way out faster. And there was two students. One of them was a boy and the other one was a girl. But she was going through and racing people every time. So she found she really liked it, even though she'd done it before. And one of her friends, they would race. So they both found that they enjoyed it more than they actually thought they would, even if they had a little bit of experience.
Yeah.
So even if you don't want to like be an electrician, be a plumber, or whatever, if you fix little stuff, you'll also feel that like, hey, I fixed that. I can do that. That's cool.
Most
Just
things
knowing how to do things.
most
completely
things are gonna.
lost.
Sorry, you finish.
No, yeah, that's it. That's all I had.
Most things that we're gonna talk about are going to come down to prepare before you get ready, or prepare before it happens, and you might find that you enjoy it doing it.
Yeah, that's partly because a lot of people, I mean, yeah, they'll try new things as in try new food, but they don't always try things that are helpful and beneficial, which you can enjoy just as much.
Yeah.
I mean, food only lasts, what, 24 hours after you eat it,
Something like
where you learn skill or something like that, then you've learned it and that knowledge is in your head. Nobody can really take that from you.
yeah,
You don't need to be MacGyver and like you fix everything with bubble gum and duct tape. But if you can fix some stuff, people will actually be surprised a lot of the time. And it also builds that character, not just your character, but like showing up on time. That's a habit and a skill that some people do not have because they didn't practice it while they were in high school, middle school, or whatever. They didn't practice like planning and getting to school on time. So now they don't get to work on time. And
yeah,
sometimes they get fired or they don't because they're not there on time. They're not working. So it's building a character and also a character that people will know you for. Like your dad, people will call him and be like, hey, how does this work? You think you could help me fix this? Or they call you. Some of your friends have called you
yeah,
and been like, hey, I'm looking for a tool to do this. What does it look like? And you just tell them, and you usually can tell them about where it should be in their shop if you know a little bit.
yeah,
Um, and then you also are like, what are you using it for? You're like, okay, you need to use nails, not a hammer. I mean, not a drill or something. Like sometimes you tell them, I said that backwards. Sometimes you need to use screws instead of nails for something. And like just knowing that kind of thing, people know you're reliable and you can do things. They can call you instead of someone else, or they don't know how. And I don't know. I think I lost my train of thought there.
no, no, I
You
think
build
that,
that character
yeah,
because
yeah, well,
um,
and
there's a
being
yeah. Go
able
ahead.
to being able to do all of that. I mean, I think what Ducky's getting at is being able to do all that not only helps you, it can help other people. If and
Yes.
and if you might be really good at fixing plumbing problems, and your friend might be really good at fixing electrical problems, and you call him if you have an electrical problem, and he calls you if he has a plumbing problem. You build those communities together, and you grow together and you work together, and that's how things get done.
Yeah. Um, there's a was he Greek philosopher or Roman? I forget which. But Plutarch said character is habit long continued. So it's about building the habits over time. Like, all right, you set an alarm so that you can leave on time and be somewhere on time. That way people know they're like, oh yeah, so and so's coming. Yeah, Joe. Like Joe will be here at 4. It's like, but it starts at 3:30. It's like, yeah, but it's Joe. He's gonna be late. Where you're like, Bob. I'm just picking random names here. Um, you're like, oh, then you better call Bob. It's like, yeah, Bob will be here at 3:15 instead of 3:30. Like he'll be there early. Um, so like it sets an expectation for who you are and a reputation. So that's part of like why you learn these things that you think you don't need. Like, okay, I don't need to be everywhere early. But if your boss knows you show up early, they'll be like, hey, this is a guy, he wants to be here. He wants to make money and get stuff done. Then they're like, when they need a promotion, they're like, well, Joe, he shows up late and so and so shows up late. They show up on time, but they're not always happy to be here. Like, not necessarily that those people are even bad. Like, they show up on time and get stuff done. Yeah. Are they there early? Are they there trying to look for other things that need done, even when there's nothing for them to do? Like, so that kind of thing. Like, are they looking to help other people? So do the kinds of things that are extra, not just extra and frivolous, but extra and helpful, because they'll help you in ways you don't expect to. If you know how to change a flat on a car tire or how to jump off a car when your
So,
battery's dead, then
a
you can
funny,
actually do that. Don't. Huh?
I was just giving a real life example of the changing a tire. The first time that I ever changed a tire, um, we were, I was with my
I'm laughing.
mom. What were you saying?
I'm laughing because I know where the story is going.
Yeah, I was with my mom, and I mean, I was what, maybe 13 at the time, maybe,
Yeah,
maybe even a little younger, probably even a little younger, 12, 11, 12, 13, somewhere in
probably.
there. I don't know. But
I mean,
but I mean, I knew basics on how to change a tire, but I had never done it before.
had an
And the we start driving down the road and we hear the walk, walk, walk. I get out and tire is dead flat. It had a nail in it. And um I go to my mom and I go, "Hey, pull up a YouTube video on how to find on how to get the spare tire out of the car for the make and model of her car." And she
I'll say it depends on the car where the tire is and how to get it out. So it is helpful to know that before, also, in case you can't look it up,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
especially if you're stuck on the side of the road. You
Oh, and another thing with this is it was pouring raining. Um like thunder,
yeah,
lightning, crazy southern storm. Um and anyway, I get out there and I start changing this tire. Mom's just sitting in the car, but these things do happen to people. They, if you live long enough, it's gonna happen. And so
yeah,
being prepared before it happens can be beneficial.
yeah. And also, like you said, having that community of different people where maybe you don't know something, but you know who to call.
Yeah.
Like, actually, it was yesterday. You had a question about
Yeah, yeah.
making a roof over your to cover some logs so that they wouldn't get wet and be out of the weather. And you were like, okay, what would be the best way to weld the frame together for this thing? So like you had somebody you could ask, even if I don't know a ton about welding, but I know enough that you're like, it, what would be the best way for this? And
Yeah.
then I don't always have the answer to something, and I double check it with you, or even if I have the right answer, but I double check it,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to like um, some of the stuff I work on in the woods. Just I'm like, you've spent enough time in my woods, you know what it's like, you know the terrain, so you're like, actually, you should do this. This would be more helpful in this area.
Yeah.
Um, that was mostly like when I was building that treehouse.
I
Um,
also think that something that we should mention is about the community side of this. Finding that community finding those people can be hard. Um, believe me, I know. Um, I believe you do too. Um, but finding those people that you can rely on and you can trust for any scenario, they're hard to find. But when you
But
find
not that
them, what are you saying?
I'm saying you don't necessarily know. That's going to be really hard to find someone who knows for every scenario because
Yeah,
no one
yeah, yeah,
really knows every scenario.
yeah.
Finding
But
someone who even knows how most stuff is hard. But just like finding people who are good at certain things. Maybe it's even someone's good at running their lawnmower. Maybe they don't even like haven't worked in landscaping before or anything like that. They just keep up their own lawnmower in your neighborhood when other people will pay a landscaper. And
yeah,
he's just good at doing that thing. Not an electrician, like not a plumber. Like you were talking about, maybe you're good at plumbing and I'm good at electrical.
yeah.
Not saying that actually is accurate.
No, I
I'm
don't
not an
do plumbing.
electrician, so if I
I don't
start
do
dancing,
plumbing. The little bit of plumbing I've done, it is
yeah, I probably.
not fun.
Like I said, if I'm not an electrician, so if I start dancing, turn the power off. Um, so, but it's not even like that they're an electrician or a plumber. It's just someone who has that knowledge. Um, so it could be from all kinds of stuff. Maybe they learned it from uncle so and so, grandpa, dad, whatever. Like just being able to sharpen a pocket knife. A lot of people don't know how to do that, but it used to be something passed down from their grandparents. So, like, if you know people who know how to do that, maybe you don't even have the time to go through and sharpen all your kitchen knives. But your
I've got a
nephew
friend
is
every
into.
time I've got a friend every time I see him, he gets me to sharpen his knife because he doesn't. I mean, he knows how. I've taught him more now, especially since I don't live there anymore. But he'd come to me every time
I
I'd
mean,
see him.
you
He'd
and
be like, will you sharpen my knife?" Because he knew I was good at it.
you. I'm not sure if we're talking about the same one, but like one who he would sharpen his own knives, but then sometimes he'd have one in his pocket and be like, "Hey, double check this one for me. I got it pretty close, but I didn't have time to sharpen it all the way." And half the
Yeah,
time you had a river stone in your pocket.
yeah. I wasn't talking
We're
about
talking
him.
about the same one.
No, but him
Okay,
too.
yeah. There's different people, they know, but we know like who has that skill. So maybe you don't have time to sharpen your kitchen knives, but you can pay your nephew or cousin or somebody who does know how and is good at it, and you'll be like, "Hey, I'll pay you $10 to sharpen these handful of knives or something." Like if they're young and be like, "Yeah, I can make some money." It also gives them a little bit of a business mind. You're helping them and they're helping you.
Yeah.
Uh, but you don't have to know everything, but also you should learn some of those skills that are helpful for other people, and it builds that reputation of other people know who to look for.
Yeah.
And maybe you don't know you like something until you try it. I'm kind of like wrapping up the main thoughts to make sure we don't forget anything. Um,
No,
like
I think we've got plenty of time on the recording thing. I think got. I mean, not
yeah,
plenty. You know what I mean.
I'm just trying to make sure we
Are there
covered
any other
everything. But like,
skills we've talked about? Mainly construction skills. I know when we were talking the other day about this, I guess yesterday, um, we were talking about like even as basic as learning how to do um clocks, analog, army time, um, and how to do
yes, I forgot.
percentages for discounts and
Um,
stuff. Just things that basic that just
um,
keep in practice.
yeah,
Keep doing them. Keep practicing them so that
not a
things.
calculator. Do it in your. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
certain
yeah,
things. I'm not a math guy.
yeah.
plenty of the time. But if it's something easy, I'll do it in my head. So
All right, there's the
I mean, I'll do it
10-minute
in my head
mark.
all the time. So okay,
Okay.
so we got 10 minutes still. But yeah, like so many people don't know how to use an analog clock or have forgotten.
Yeah.
Because they're not used to seeing their phone, their smartwatch. Is that what it's called?
Something like that. I don't know.
It's a little. I think it's a smartwatch. If it's the wrong name, y'all probably know what I'm talking about. But they're used to seeing it written digitally everywhere. But also like know how to read 24-hour time or
Yeah.
military time, because maybe you only learned it in middle school and you never used it since then. But if you know how, wasn't there something on the news one time where they were like, they told the time in military time while they were reporting the story, and I'm like, oh, I know what that is.
Yeah.
It wasn't recent. I feel like there was one time, but also in movies, especially if you watch like, I don't know, not Mission Impossible, but that type of secret agent movie, and they'll list the time on there. If you know what time it is, then you understand the story better even. So it's like, might not be practical for every day, but it's something you should know.
So a trick that's helped me with army time, for those of you who don't know anything about it, if you take the second number, so like if it's 1700 hours, if you take the 7 and you subtract 2 from it, it's a 5. So it's 5 o'clock.
That works.
So
8 o'clock. With
so like well okay, so 9 o'clock, or 8 o'clock, as you said, it would be it'd be 2000 hours. So you take the
but if
0 and it has the 2, so the 2 is now a 1 because you're still subtracting the you're still subtracting 2 from 0. So it's 8. Does that make sense? You're basically subtracting 2 from 10, because instead of, if you imagine, if it has a 1 at the front, it's a 0, and if it has a 2 at the front, it's a 1, and you still subtract 2 from the last number.
yeah, um, yeah, so it still works, but also being able to mentally calculate, say you're at a store, something's 50% off, 25% off, 75% off. Those are easy numbers. Now, if it's 33%, you might pull out a calculator, but you still know 33% is in between 25 and 50. So it's in between a quarter and a half of the price off. And also, you have to remember 25% off does not mean it is 25% of the original price. So, understanding how that works easily, so that you don't have to be like, hey, how much is the actual price now, or calculating it with a calculator in your phone or something. Like, just knowing it in your head and being able to do the things easily will make your life easier.
Yeah.
Um, I know there's so much, especially nowadays. They're like, "Oh, I don't need that. I don't need to know math. I've always got a calculator in my pocket." But
And no, you
should you
don't
all?
need to know the square root of 158 divided by 17. You don't need to know that off the top of your head. But knowing what roughly where 33% is, or knowing roughly what 5 times 9 is, and just knowing those things, um they help you.
Did you stop calculate 5 times 9 in your head?
Yeah, I did.
Because you stopped it.
I was like, do I know what
You
that is?
stopped
I
right
do.
after you. Um, I
It's
I figured
45,
you were doing
in
that.
case y'all were wondering.
Yeah. But
Okay. Basically,
last you had to
kind of a we need to be wrapping up here. I mean, we do have 5 minutes, but um basically be prepared for things that you might not need or think that you need, such as 24-hour time, just or knowing how to change a tire, just these things that you might not think that you need to know how to do, and um and practice them and learn them before you need them, so that when the time comes that you need it and you're in a group and oh no, your van tire fixed on the group trip, you know how to change the tire. You don't have to pay a tow truck to come out and tow it to a place or change the tire for you. You don't need to do any of that. You just change the tire.
Um, yeah, but like just building that toolbox of different things, not just in case, because just in case does happen to everybody, but some people are gonna go, I don't want to carry a whole toolkit around.
Yeah.
Um, maybe you don't want to carry a toolbox around, but have that mental knowledge of how to do things, because mental space, yes, it costs something, but
Well,
wouldn't you rather have it filled up with things?
we did a podcast on what you should carry every day, EDC essentials for everyday carry. And
Yeah,
tools other than like
2 weeks ago.
knives and flashlights and stuff, they weren't like we didn't say that we needed to carry around a pair of pliers. We didn't say we need to carry around a hammer. It's
We didn't even say you
those
need to carry like a carabiner or rope,
yeah,
like
those are
which I use
those
a
are
carabiner
things
all.
that those are things that which is a future video, in fact, that you would keep in like your car that you're going places. Um and
Bag
you have them,
with
yeah,
you,
or in a
but
go bag or something like that, where you might have them, but you don't carry them around on your person 24/7.
yeah. Um, but it's like you don't need to necessarily carry the tools to do those things, but just knowing how and having that knowledge, it makes it where people can rely on you to do things, even things they didn't expect. You get to surprise people a little bit, which is fun.
Yeah, it
I
is
mean,
funny.
even my one of the welding instructors I know, he agreed with one of mine and your friends. He goes, one of mine and your friends said it first. He goes, "You're the definition of never let them know your next move," um, because like he never knows whether I'm gonna say like some facts that's helpful, like tell him how to do something that he doesn't think he needs, and then it's actually helpful the next day. Like it's happened. So um, he never knows whether I'm gonna say something like that helpful or a dad joke. He's like, I never know what you're thinking. So I mentioned it to one of the welding instructors after I said something funny, and the instructor just starts laughing and goes, "Pretty much." It's like not just like people can rely on you that way if they know like you can handle stuff. They don't have to ask, "Do you know how to do this?" They
I
just
got a
go, "Hey, can
minute
you do
left.
that?" Yeah. Um, but there's that. It builds the character of reliability, which is what I'm trying to say. You're ready just in case. So it's like studying for that test that you don't know when it's going to happen, and maybe that
I
not
mean,
necessarily a
overall,
test of.
knowledge is never a bad thing. If if you have even if you've never changed a tire, if you have basic knowledge on how to, it's going to help you in the long run.
Yeah, it's
It's
studying is what this is about.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
simply helping you help your life. Um,
Uh-huh.
for your benefit, your convenience. Um, but I think that we've covered just about everything. We spoiled
Um,
some stuff
I
from
think
other things, but
necessarily spoiled. We just
Mention.
mentioned. I was trying to think of the word.